Okay, are you ready to hit the road? I like the driving rules over here. This is the middle of the road. And Abu Suhila, she's making the most amazing hummus. Liberate the Holy Land from the Muslim rule. Are you ready? Let's hit the road. So, hi everybody, my name is Sagi Levy and I'm a tour guide, your Israeli tour guide. I decided to start shooting all kind of videos about Israel and showing you this beautiful land. And I've been shooting some videos that soon I will release on YouTube. But today I've just decided to, I was writing this script over here about Akko and planning to put on my hat, my tourism hat, and go and shoot it. And eventually I have decided to just go with the camera and show you my little Israel. I hope you're ready. What do you think about this shirt? Is it good? Wait a second. I think I want something nicer for you guys. Give me a minute. I think I like it a little better. Are you ready? Let's hit the road. So what I didn't tell you, that I'm at my parents' house right now in the Galilee of Israel. This is where I grew up as a little child. Came to visit my folks in Kiryat Tivon, one of the most beautiful places in Israel. In my opinion, this is where I grew up at. And this is my touring van. Meanwhile, I have all this touring van just for myself. Okay, are you ready to hit the road? Okay, so we are on our way to Akko. Feels a little weird taking you guys with me in the car. I always had some people in the back over here. This is an 8-seater van. And now I have it all for my own. Who knows, maybe I'm driving with 1 million people that's gonna watch this video. But as it seems for now, I'm just having fun with myself, which is great. This is my best friend over here. So hi Sagi, how you doing? No, I can't talk to myself like that. It's gonna be very weird. Okay, let's wait until we get to Akko, and we'll keep me talking to myself into different videos that I have a lot to say. I speaking a lot with myself. But this one is gonna focus on Akko, the ancient Crusader city that basically changed the face of humanity and made Jerusalem Christian after years, hundreds of years of Islamic rule. So I hope you're ready. It's gonna be fascinating. You know, Waze is another Israeli startup, the Startup Nation. Yes, one of the greatest navigation applications. Eventually was bought by Google. Obviously, one of the things I hate the most is the traffic, and yes, we did have a lot of traffic as we went here. But you know, this is Israel. And in Israel, you can see a Mercedes-Benz on the road next to the Ferrari, and then right next to a man on a horse. Yep. We're getting closer to Akko. I can already see the buildings of the residential area of the city of Akko. So, welcome to Akko. I've parked my car here at the Hospitaler Oder parking lot. There is a beautiful, beautiful site over here that we will visit in the future. But as for now, I want to start with food. Yes, I'm hungry. All this ride made me very, very hungry. On the way to my favorite hummus place in Akko, I want to tell you a little bit about the history of this place. So we're talking about 4,000 or even more, 4,000 years of history, which starts from the Canaanite time and continuously You can find here layers of Roman history, Greek history even before the Romans, Ottoman rule, and just before that, the Crusaders. The Crusaders are basically the biggest story of this city, and many of the important remnants over here belongs to them from the 11th century all the way to the end of the 13th century. But today, the old city of Akko is mostly Arabic. We have here about 5,000 people living here, and the majority of them are Muslims, though you can find here even Christian, Franciscan, Orthodox churches, but most of the religious sites over here are Muslim today since the Ottoman rule. And most of the buildings that you see right here, right now, are from the Ottoman time, Ottoman rule. We have some Jews who live here, but not a big amount of them. Most of them just have shops over here because it's a touristic city. But in the new city of Akko, yes, the majority of the population is definitely Jewish. I think that Akko is one of the locations that show that coexistence can actually happen and work pretty well most of the times, even though we don't agree on everything over here. I'm talking about the Jewish and Muslim populations. We can still see here great coexistence. Israelis travel through Akko every day of the year, and Arabs over here of Akko travel through Israel in every day of the year. I like the driving rules over here. This is the middle of the road and everything is blocked. Sometimes in the old Arab cities you have a little different vibe. People walking in the street, shouting on each other. It's a little hectic, but somehow they find a way to be organized with this hectic atmosphere. And we are very, very close to my favorite hummus place. Let's see if it's open. Okay, I'm right here at the middle of the market or old city of Akko, and we're gonna eat. Well, I'm hungry, I told you. I want to eat in my favorite hummus place in Akko. There are plenty of great hummus places, and one of the things which is very known in the hummus business is that the hummus is made by male. If you're talking about gender, hummus is mostly made by male. And this hummus place is very different because, as expected, ladies do everything a little bit better. And Abu Suhila, she's making the most amazing hummus, in my opinion at least. And let's see her place. You can see here, right here in the newspaper, she's a famous hummus maker. And here she is, this beautiful lady over here that's run this business from 1993. And one of the favorite dishes that I love, can I see this hummus? Is this one over here, the hummus with pineapple. Pine nuts, not pineapple. Pine nuts, I was confused. I'm gonna sit right here in the beautiful corridor. There is over here this old Turkish market over here, and thank you very much, my friend over here making the table for us. Soon I'll show you how the food looks like. They're making the table for us. We have here some spices, some parsley, and this is the incredible hummus right here. Yalla sim. Oh, some olive oil. We do everything with a lot of olive oil here. Some tomatoes, olives, pickles, and onion, which sometimes we eat the hummus instead of pita, we eat it with onions. Look at that beautiful table. What this hummus is. So, some people eat the hummus with pita, just like this. You must eat it in a round circle and then take some parts of it. Like that. You need to make sure you wash your hands before, which I did. And this is some spices. Those spices over here will add some flavor to the hummus. It's also garlic and green and hot pepper. So making hummus is something very simple, seemed to be very simple, but for some reason when I always make it at home, and I do make it at home, it never tastes as good as they make it here. I don't know how they do it. What is the magic? Is it, it basically made from chickpeas, tahini, and some spices. Chickpeas that you cook overnight or a couple of hours, and then you add some tahini to it and the spices. But whatever I do, it never tastes like this. They're genius. I don't know how they do it. What I didn't tell you is that many times people think that eating hummus, it makes you very, very heavy. But what makes you heavy is actually the pita. So instead of eating so many pitas, what we do, we take the onion. They usually put it inside water for a couple of hours, and then the spiciness of the onion just fade out. And then you just take a little bit of onion and you use it like that as a pita. Wow, I love it. And the pickles, so simple, but so good. And eating the hummus in a place like this, look around you. In an ancient market, which is now pretty quiet. Not so many tourists in Israel, as you know today. But I will enjoy my hummus a little more. And the last bite is coming. Oh, look at that. Happy, tasty. My mom would be proud of me. And after a very good meal, we have to have some great Arabic coffee that will keep me walking during this nice summer heat. Okay, thank you. Ma salama. So, I want to take you to the beach. Yes, we all love to swim. And well, I'm not going to swim with you now, but I do want to tell you the story of the Crusaders who came from the other side of the sea, and therefore, let's go to the sea. Look at this massive, massive gate. Oh my God. This is all a metal, beautiful gate, which in the ancient times used to close after sunset to make sure nobody's going to penetrate the city and attack the city, the land gate. And right after going out this gate, one of my favorite places in Akko, the Horse Beach. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful beach.
يا صبرجة هوبا عين عليك هاشمان يا صبرجة طيبة يا أخي
يا بريخ شلي
اسمع أني بيجي شلي إنه حبيب بياخذ هو بعقه هو عربي ويهودي بعقه اعتكاز زي بفليش شيء شنا هياكم مش بخا لو هيا بلقا لو هيا حكيم الخيم بياخذ ما نقدر مش بخا والله بين عربي بيهودي مش بخا والله تعمل لي حتى نحن بدات ولا مش بخا بس
والله
القديم القديم اسمع הדתיים שלנו הגדולים אני לא אוהב, ושלכם גם את זה הדתיים יותר מדי זה לא הולך, אנחנו בן אדם, אתה עושה לי כבוד, אני אעשה לך כבוד, זה הדת, זה בשבילנו בצד, רק אנחנו בן אדם, אתה מדבר איתי, אני מדבר איתך, אתה עושה לי כבוד, אני אעשה לך כבוד, אנחנו בן אדם, חביבי.
וואלה, סחטיין, אנחנו כולנו ילדים של אברהם. כולנו ילדים של אברהם. יאללה, איזה יופי, יושבים כאן, שותים קפה, ככה מול הים, הופה, אתה מבין, עכשיו אתה מבין עולם, אתה מבין מה זה עולם? בעזרת השם, בעזרת השם.
לצחוק קצת, נעשה שמח קצת, מה בן אדם, לא שובר ראש, מעברים זמן בן אדם, רק קצת שמח, אחד עושה כבוד לשני, אנחנו בן אדם, אני אוהב ככה. الأفرم بأسلين وبعكو أنا ريت بعك أفرم بوت اشتكى في وحياة الله أنا كخويب أني بشام قار أتا قار لما لقيت أني عبير محمود بوت اشتكى في حبري كمو مش بخا ولا كذا والله إحنا مش بخا إن شاء الله يهي طوب يا رب حبيبي
أمين 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 שיהיה רק טוב. ככה ניסע עם הסירה שלנו, ככה, וניסע לטייל בעולם בעזרת השם. יהודים, ערבים, מוסלמים, נוצרים, רק שיהיה לנו טוב, בעזרת השם. So, shalom and welcome again to the ancient city of Akko. This is where I wanted to take you as a starting point. Because I love this location, right at the beach, you can see the children swimming in the sea and the elderly sitting over here having coffee, which is something I love about this location. Very charming and beautiful. And you would never imagine knights with heavy armor and catapults and bowls covered with tar fired thrown on those walls that you see over here. This location was actually the final breath of the Crusaders. This is not part of a movie, this is the actual history of the Crusaders in the Levant. Behind me, these ancient Crusader walls faced the fury of an empire. The endless blue Mediterranean Sea once was a lifeline for European knights and kings and eventually became their escape route right over here at the Mediterranean. It's more than a view. This is a front row seat to one of the most dramatic chapters in Israel history, the Crusader era in the Holy Land. Now, you might think the Crusaders were all about Europe, knights, shining armor, riding across the French and English countryside, but let me be very clear. The heart of this whole drama, it was right here in Israel, in Jerusalem, and over here in the ancient city of Akko. To understand how this place became a battleground of Muslim and Christian empires, we've got to rewind. The year is 638 CE, just a few years after the birth of Islam. Muslim armies under Caliph Omar conquered Jerusalem from the Christian Byzantine Empire. That marked the first time the Holy Land came under a Muslim rule. Fast forward to the 11th century, Europe was a disaster zone. Plagues, famine, and now Jerusalem had fallen to the Seljuk Turks, a new Muslim power. In 1195 CE, Pope Urban II stood up in Clermont, France, and made his famous call. Liberate the Holy Land from the Muslim rule. I hope I have a good French accent. But don't be fooled, this wasn't just about God. It was politics, it was land, it was power. It was a way to unite the people in a devastated Europe under a sacred cause. And you know what? The people listened. That call launched the First Crusade. Thousands signed up, knights, nobles, and a sea of desperate peasants with pitchforks. This first wave, it wasn't exactly a military force. It was a mass of broke, hungry folks with nothing to lose. They walked all the way from France, full with faith but with no real plan. This was the Peasants' Crusade that no one tells their story. Maybe because it ended in a great disaster. Many died on the way from hunger and disease, and most were slaughtered by the Seljuk forces near the Bosphorus Strait before even reaching the Holy Land. In 1099, 5 armies, 2 from France along with the English, Italian and German forces, led by Godfrey of Bouillon, stormed into Jerusalem. Blood was everywhere, rivers of it, and regardless of faith and religion, if we're talking about Muslim defenders, they were slaughtered. Jewish communities also massacred in Jerusalem and throughout the region, and we're talking about 150,000 crusaders and peasants who left Europe, and only 40,000 survived and reached Jerusalem at the end of the day. And yet, this marked the beginning of a Crusader kingdom, the Crusader kingdom of Jerusalem.